I like to think, Brian, you've known me for a pretty good amount of time, I'd say.
Yeah, I'd say we've known each other for a while.
Yeah, a little bit. Let's say we go way back. But I don't know. Personally, I think I've kind of always just been this. I don't know. I don't think I don't personally think I've changed that much. Like
just
I don't try to.
Gentle and mild, like a little baby Jesus.
Like just like a little baby
Sweet
Jesus.
Sweet and mild, like a nice Taco Bell sauce.
I always
I'm into
blame
it.
like, when you hang out with me and my friends who are all pretty mean but funny. That's probably like where it started, and then you just went way further than any of us in terms of being.
Just check up on me every few months, like okay. Yeah, I remember we would play when we would play like video games and shit, like Call of Duty or Gears of War or whatever. I would just say like some really, really horrible shit.
Yeah, well, you grew up in the prime time of
those Modern Warfare 2 lobbies.
Yeah, lobbies where everyone was just so mean to each other.
So many white kids dropping things they shouldn't say.
So many.
See, I never did.
So many Shane Giles out there, you know what I'm saying?
Saying what?
Shane who?
What?
Well, I think what you didn't say it correctly, but good joke. Very edgy. I love it.
Yeah,
what's his name?
I don't know. Should we say it? He's close to some people we know. So Shane Gillis, if anyone.
Gillis.
If anyone.
I was trying. Let's just say it was intentional. Like.
Is he from Worcester?
I don't think
know anything about him.
He's from where?
He's from Philly.
He's from Philly. Oh, really?
Oh,
okay. All right. Cool. So for some reason, I thought he was more close to our scene for some reason, but fuck him then. So, I don't know. What have you seen the Shane Gillis thing? Like the guy who got canceled.
I know the
from
story
SNL?
of it. I've never seen him. I've never watched him. From what I hear, it's like, oh, he's an alright guy who did some fucked up things, and it's like, haven't we all? So I'm just kind of like. Whatever.
You should probably see the clip.
He's a white guy. He'll probably. Oh, is it really, really bad?
It's not easy to defend. Yeah,
it's not easy to defend.
It's not even like
fair,
he's making a joke. It's just like
I heard he was doing
the joke is that I'm being casually racist on a podcast. So it's not really.
I don't know. Like it's stuff like I probably would have thought was funny in high school.
Yeah.
3 years ago.
In middle school, I would have been like, this is sophomoric. I would have never.
This is sophomoric. Good heavens.
Good fucking heavens.
I won't say that I never would have found that funny, but once I talked to adults and people educated me on why that's not funny, it's like,
but it also like
hashtag growth.
Yeah.
Man, but you know this, doing comedy and stuff.
Yeah.
Sometimes you do try things that, and just like, you think it's
there's a way to be edgy.
You think it's funnier than it is. You know, and like you don't know. Sometimes you don't know until you try. But it was I don't know. It was something that
like stopped being funny. Like
it would have flown in the 90s. What he said would have flown in the 90s.
Slapped, bro. He would have slapped.
It would have flown well in the 90s. It probably would have been the best clip of their entire podcasting career.
On SNL in the 90s.
He would have just been
exactly.
on SNL.
No, exactly. He would have they'd be like, oh, sweet. That's probably why he got hired.
But Michael's like, this guy's a fucking throwback.
Yeah.
That was his tape. That's what got him on SNL. It was rise and fall.
But I guess, as a result of this stuff coming out, something this guy said on a podcast a little while ago, he was canceled. He lost his job for SNL. He was pretty much ostracized by a lot of the online community. A lot of comedians have stood up in defense of him.
Yeah.
And I can defend. I can take a look at like all the positive things he's done, contributed as a comedian, stuff like that. I personally don't grade him based on like a slip up on a podcast.
I don't know him as a person. Exactly. Like, because some people like comedy, it's like a character. It's not even them. Like,
totally. I mean, dude, if I...
That's going for me. All my jokes are 100% like pretty much true from my real life, but like I also recognize that some people, they're just, fucking around. So I'm not going to like cast a serious judgment. What he did was definitely fucked up, but like I'm not like, oh yeah, burn him at the fucking stake. Like, because then again, I don't know. I also didn't see the video, so we'll find out.
Well, I guess...
I think he did deserve to lose. SNL should have checked before that he had, because his podcast was just out there.
Because wasn't it also not super fun? Like, I could understand if it was like 20 years ago. It's like, all right.
It was a year ago.
It was a year ago. That's, I don't know.
It's and essentially, he did an Asian accent, and he said like some
I know
Asian
he said the
slurs.
C word a lot.
The
cunt?
Yeah.
Nope.
It's the worst word for Asians.
He's stealing my bit, so just cancel Shane.
Yeah, I think obviously he deserves to lose his stuff, but I think there does have to be like an avenue for people to re-ingratiate themselves if they show like genuine willingness to learn and grow from their past
just gonna take
experiences. Like, I do feel like right now there's a kind of like, I don't know, an idea out there that's like, all right, well, if you're ostracized, you're done forever. This person, you can never associate with them again. If anyone associates with them, they're also canceled by proxy. But we need to like
It's too black and white, I feel like. You gotta give people a chance to grow.
So
like,
here's where I think the more interesting conversation is to be had, like on cancel culture, just kind of, which is like such a stupid fucking.
I know, this is like cancel culture. I don't know if it's real because a lot of times when people get canceled, better stuff happens.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like Shane Gillis is probably way more famous than he would have been being an SNL. No one would have cared if he was a new SNL cat. He's definitely going to be on Joe Rogan. He definitely has found a much larger audience for his comedy, and he can probably sustain himself, and he's probably going to be beholden to a lot less strings than he would have been if he was on SNL.
Yeah.
And which is going to be great for him because apparently he loves to, push the envelope, if you will. Real boundary pusher in comedy. But sarcasm. And I don't know, I think like what is the point of canceling someone in the sense that what's the point of
it's like I don't agree with this, so I need to like cancel someone over. It's like it's just a way to like feel self-righteous a lot. I think.
Yeah, you think it's all self-righteousness?
Honestly, think about everyone we're in like school with or back in like the 90s and shit. Every white person has been a fucking piece of garbage.
Every what?
White person.
Well, that's a
at
big
some point.
claim.
I don't care. I said it. Cancel me. So
every white. I mean, that's pretty.
At some point, like, are you gonna say you never laughed at a racist joke? Are you saying you've never like?
Yeah, but have other
has.
Have people that like
So
non-white people have they like laughed at racist jokes?
Yeah, they have too. But like, Shane Gillis is white, and I think that's like the biggest thing. It's like he can't do it. So whatever.
It's a bad look.
I can only speak for the white people right now, and but yeah, it's like. I forget where the fuck I was going with it.
I didn't mean to throw. This is a sensitive topic. I didn't mean to throw a wrench at you.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like he's gonna be fine no matter what, so it doesn't really fucking matter.
I think like I said, I think if anything, he has a larger platform and probably a much larger audience as a result of this. You take a look at like someone like Colin Moriarty, who was canceled over a tweet, a pretty innocuous, safe joke.
Right.
I remembered what I was gonna say about like the cancel culture. People like. They cancel people because they want to feel better about them being like an atonement, pretty much. It's like, oh, I used to be shitty. So now if I like go the complete opposite way and totally shit on someone for being like that, it's like, oh, look, I'm better. See? It's like performative almost. It's like, I don't know. I'm not into the whole like cancel thing because it's like, I don't know. I have my flaws and shit. And like, I know that it's wrong. I know that doing those things is wrong, but I don't need to like make a big public display about like shitting on someone to get that point across. I'm more of like if you really believe it, you're a doer. Like you don't need to fucking put a big show on to feel something.
I think it's very easy to take a clip of a podcast, like even with the proper context of the podcast, and like discredit any good thing a person's ever done. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
And like, that person might have genuine hate in him. They might not.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell, especially when someone's a fucking comedian.
Like go with the fucking, like what they do. I also
think if he showed genuine like remorse and was like, hey, I said some stuff, I don't necessarily stand by it. I understand.
Didn't he double down?
He kind of gave like a half-assed apology where he was kind of being defiant about it. And I do feel like if he gave like an actual like sincere apology and was willing to grow from it, he wouldn't have gotten kicked off. But
I don't know.
No,
I feel like a lot of like sometimes you can't. Sometimes you apologize, man, and people just never want to fucking hear it. And this guy will always hear about this for the rest of his career.
Yeah.
And I think
for a long time anyway.
No matter what what he did was wrong. I do think like every one of these instances of someone getting canceled, it's a case by case basis. There's different degrees of things that people do that are fucked up.
But even then, like I used to be like super into like Left Book and shit, and like even you just saying that they'd probably cancel you because it's like, oh, of course a white guy is gonna give another white guy a chance, and it's just such a downward fucking spiral. Yeah, Left Book. It's like people like politically like super far left. It's like left. It's like Facebook groups of everybody on the left, and like you think
that sounds like a great echo chamber and great idea to bring like insightful conversation to people.
And like it's like I don't know.
Oh, it's Tumblr. Is what you're saying.
It's like Tumblr, but like where everybody went when they canceled porn. So like it's yeah.
Rest in peace.
R.I.P.
Rest in porn.
Rest in porn.
Oh man.
But so it's a lot. Like I don't know. I try to like see things from everybody's angle, but at the end of the day, I'm like, not really gonna fucking affect me.
It
So I don't have an
kind of
opinion on
almost seems like a move though, right? Like if you're a comedian.
What do you mean? Oh,
Like,
like
if you
getting
just wanted
canceled?
to, kinda. Like I mean, if you could cleverly ride a wave of controversy.
But then does it become hacky? Is all of a sudden, is being an edgelord going to come out of fashion? Because now everybody's going to be super edgy.
I don't know if
It's a bell curve.
edgelordness is like ever been in fashion
Why
per
not?
se. I think it's a acquired
We
We need to
taste.
go back to the 90s.
Let's look at YouTube from 2007 to 9 ish. Like that's what edgelords were.
Well, I don't get it. Or I was a big edgelord.
Oh, there are so many edgelords on YouTube.
He was
back in
only
the
a
day.
sperm cell back then, so we
Yeah,
gotta...
Like I would say, the Amazing Atheist is probably the king edgelord at the time.
Oh, what about... what's his name? It's like Kitsune something. It's like something with a K. You know who I'm talking about.
yeah.
Oh, that dude. Fucking
But
Christ.
like shock value humor, that kind of stuff, and being like rude for.
Well,
Just to be rude.
I don't stand for anything of that like, not even one bit. So
Right. No.
No.
Yeah. Obviously.
You would love Anthony Jeselnik.
really, I should definitely check him out
Oh,
sometime.
please check him out.
I need some better material.
Yeah. It's a complicated situation, and you know, as a white dude, I can't really like give a informed opinion because no one's
Yeah.
ever really said anything that's hurt my feelings too much. And certainly nothing that has been like years and years of
Like historic,
cultural suffering.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
so,
you
Even as a
listen
woman,
right
not even
here,
really.
you honky ass cracker piece
see,
of
I really
filth.
say that with all sincerity, and it's like,
Dude, if anyone
It
could,
can't hurt
it's not gonna
you.
happen. Like, you know what I mean?
Like-
Oh, I'm a honky. That's
yeah, exactly.
hilarious.
Like,
That's funny to me. You know, like
that's the real white privilege.
Yeah.
You can
Privilege.
just be like, wow, okay.
I know. I
Whack of
choose.
bread.
Yeah, I agree with a lot of what you guys said on this. I think like most importantly though, you know, so like okay, Chris Brown.
Oh boy.
Okay, Chris Brown for instance. Okay, he's still making music. Right?
Yep, he is.
He's still making art.
Yep.
Yeah, he made
What-
a song with Little Dicky. That was disappointing.
A lot of
Yep.
fans.
He's out here.
There's a lot of fans. A lot of. So I think if someone like that could come back from that.
Is he really coming? I don't know.
Dude, he
don't
has
like
a
him. I
song.
don't like
He's.
him.
I'm not a fan.
I
I'm
wouldn't
not.
even
I'm
say
not.
he had
A,
to
Not
come
even,
back.
like,
He never
everything
left.
else.
He like,
Dude,
threw
yeah,
the shit
he
out of Rihanna
makes-
and was like, well,
he beat the fuck out of Rihanna. It
Have
wasn't
you
just like
seen
yeah,
her?
it's
How
so
could you?
fucked
How
up.
could you? Like
Yeah.
she's.
Yeah,
I'm a big Rihanna fan.
yeah.
Big Rihanna fan.
Well, I mean, he was too, I'm sure,
At one
and
point, but-
you know, people make mistakes. That's what I'm trying to say.
Shut the fuck.
No,
up.
I just like no, but like my
Of
point.
Chris
course, a white
Brown's-
guy not
Chris
giving the
Brown's
brown
listening at home
one
like,
the
yes,
benefit
thank
of the
you, this
doubt.
guy.
I don't see how race has anything to do with this particular issue, but my point being, like people like artists have been able to come back from I think worse than this, you
Right.
know, and it's interesting to see like I don't know, it's interesting to see who lets who in. You know what I mean? Like why is that like okay?
I mean, these
or-
days with
Artists always downstairs.
YouTube,
Look at it.
iTunes, Twitter, you don't need like big companies to make money. You don't need SNL anymore. Like his podcast would probably have a lot more viewers.
Chris
now.
Brown's.
If he had one, he would have a lot of viewers.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
I know Shane Gillis, is that his name?
Shane Gillis, yeah.
I
Shane
called him
Gillis.
Giles earlier.
Yeah,
Gills.
Bear
just
Grylls.
Shane Boy. Over
Shane
here.
boy.
Shane
Um,
Boy.
That was actually very interesting to watch happen. Like the day they announced the cast members, the clips came out, and I was like trying to follow along, like in their subreddit, and they're like, "We need to scrub the subreddit. We need like," and I was just like, "Whoa, this is insane to watch
What did
in real time."
What amazes me though is like who are the fucking weirdos digging like through people's stuff if the
It
company that
happens.
hired them isn't even gonna do it, you know?
I
And also
know.
like would those people be
But,
cool
like,
if you
what
dug through
Brian
their
just
stuff?
said-
I don't know.
The whole like you don't need SNL. I think that's also like what influenced my opinion because like when I first heard about it, I'm like, who fucking cares? Like I haven't watched SNL in years, and I know I'm not alone in that because like social media and like marketing, like if you can do that on your own, you really don't need
Stuff like
those
that.
outlets to be successful. So like, yeah, it probably sucked for him, but like I don't know. I was just kind of like, he'll bounce back. Like he'll be fine. Like SNL is not the fucking pinnacle of comedy.
Well, that's
So-
sort of my point, you know, like he'll
He'll be alright.
find his audience that'll probably
Right.
support him through thick and thin, or he won't, you know, and the market decides that. I think in a lot of these instances of like canceling people, though, people there's a lot there's a lot of negative that comes with it, but there's some benefit to be had for some people in these instances.
It puts you in the spotlight. Like, your name is in the fucking press.
Fucking,
like, that's all that really...
I watched, like, discussions of other comedians, like, talking about this. Like, these people wouldn't have talked about Shane Gillis on, like, all these different shows or podcasts or whatever. And like you said, he's probably going to be on Rogan, or he'll probably be on something, and he'll find an audience that he can cultivate, and they'll probably support him through thick and thin. And it's a very unique opportunity he's been presented with,
Put it this way. It happens with even, like, the most heinous shit. Like, you've heard, like, the jokes about, like, girls who love serial killers. On Tumblr, there was literally girls who were like, oh, my God, I love them. Like, fangirls of serial killers. It's like, if you can if your name is in the news for literally killing people and you still find a fucking audience, this dude telling fucking hacky 90s jokes, he's gonna be fine. Like, whatever.
That's a good point. That's a very good point.
Columbine,
remember when Rolling Stone got shit on because they put the Boston Bomber on the cover? That kid fucking bombed. Yeah. And he's a fucking like, he shared a cover with people as, like, David Bowie and stuff. Like, it doesn't fucking matter what you do anymore. Like, cancel culture, exposure is exposure, and that's all it's going to be at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So.
And I just think it's a matter of, people will be put in different opportunities like that. It's a matter of capitalizing on it. Riding it correctly.
Definitely.
Which is why, if you guys check my Twitter right now, no, I'm kidding. I just a tirade of horrible things, like going very viral, guys.
Right.
I'm talking about transgenders in the military.
Oh shit.
No, I'm kidding. I don't. They should be able to die just like anyone else.
True.
For oil. And I don't know. Brian, you got any questions for our guests today?
Me.
That was a fun, lighthearted
I feel like
discussion.
it got really deep. I don't know. I'm here in a fucking Care Bear onesie trying to have a good time. I'm like, shit, we're getting down to my moral soul.
That we had that conversation, like, this setup. We got a Garfield movie on deck.
Like, I feel like I've definitely said things that's going to get me canceled 900 times.